Now, I'm not sure this is why MGTOW exists, because MGTOW was basically a side effect of feminism. And feminism started out to be a good thing, but the Rockefellers got a hold of it and destroyed it. Second wave feminism was probably at its strongest, and third wave feminism is by far the worst. And now we have MGTOW, which is men going their own way. But basically, what it boils down to is united we stand, divided we fall. So the powers that be, they want to keep us divided. They don't want us to be on the same page. They don't want us to, teamwork makes the dream work. They don't want us to be doing teamwork. They want us at each other's throats. They like the fact that the MGTOW community is battling the feminist community and vice versa. In fact, they probably get off on it. What we need to do is find a commonality, find peace, a way for us to get along again. Our families are breaking up, relationships, divorce is at an all-time high. It's up to like 60% now, and 2/3 or 75% of them are initiated by the women. Women think they can do better, and then they basically don't. They're running around looking for love in all the wrong places. Kind of like after my last wife cheated on me, this girl told me, she says, some people think that the grass is greener on the other side, but then when they get there, they find out that it's artificial turf. And that's basically what happened to her. This guy, he was older, he had money, he had, more security. We were building our wealth, we were building our security. But I guess she wanted to bypass the whole building effort and just go ahead and, like one guy said, women are just waiting at the finish line for men. They want a guy who's already accomplished. They don't want to do the work. They want to wait at the finish line and reap all the benefits of somebody else doing the work. And in part, that's true. A lot of women are doing that. Like I said, my last wife did that, and he was just using her. Basically, he used her for about 6 months and then put her to the curb. And now she's living in her parents' basement. And I had to basically start over rebuilding, from scratch. Well, not really from scratch. I had some things still, but, we pretty much lost everything. And I could have held everything together, but, I was devastated. I was traumatized, and I didn't care. I just let it all go. I let the bank have the house. I just packed everything up and went off grid. And I just didn't care. And, but now, I'm rebuilding. Like one guy said, men are builders and women are consumers. And that's kind of true. Women do make up the majority of consumers in the world. They dictate the market because they do most of the consumption, most of the consuming, and men do most of the building. So in part, that's true. There are women builders and there are male consumers. I know a lot of what I call what are they, worthless eaters. There's a lot of worthless eaters out there, male and female. But anyway, this video here is kind of fucked up. I'm not going to play it. It's basically about a woman raping a child, and it's pretty sad, pretty disturbing, but it happens, you know. Um, but yeah, how do we get back to normal? I mean, this is the new normal, but we don't. This is not a new normal that we are obviously happy with. The world's falling apart. So how do we create a new normal that is a win-win solution? First off, stop listening to all the brainwashers. Start getting back to the traditional ways, maybe not, necessarily, the man is the head of the household, the man works, the woman stays home and takes care of the kids. Doesn't necessarily have to be that kind of traditional, but somewhere between what feminism was supposed to be and the way things used to be. It's like, because yeah, everybody's at each other's throats anymore. Like this one guy I follow, Poor Man Podcast. It's partly our fault. He says, he tries to do videos like this guy, appears to be doing with trying to do success and motivational things. The 1 second rule: how to command respect if you're quiet. But anyways, I forgot his name, but anyways, he does the Poor Man Podcast. You can look him up, and he's got some motivational things, and then he's got the drama videos, and he basically says that he gets more hits, more commentary, more activity, makes more money off of the YouTube monetization ads or whatever on the drama, on the negative stuff. So, we're really digging our own grave by being so negative. We need to start putting away the negatives and start looking for the solutions. Like the penguins, the penguin leader on Madagascar would say, "Don't give me problems, give me solutions." We need to start working together: red, yellow, black, and white, straight, bisexual, transgender, whatever, male, female, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter who you are, what race you are, what class you are. Freedom is freedom. And when we start taking away other people's freedoms, then eventually our own freedoms are going to be taken away. It's like the government targets certain people that the majority doesn't care about. So they'll target those people, say the commercial industry, say the military, say a certain ethnic group, and they'll start targeting these people for whatever agenda it is that they want to target. And once they get their grubby paws, in the cookie jar, and they're good, and they got a real strong hold on what they're after, like a cancer, they will spread. Like this National ID Act. We've been fighting that since 2007. It now is 2021, and we lost the battle. The Real ID Act is officially in effect. We pushed it back, but they still got what they wanted because we're not united. They started out with the military enforcing the RFID chip on the military, which, even though we think the military is, for us, they're not. They work for the government. and they have to do what the government tells them to do. Even though the government's supposed to work for us, they don't. So basically, they are employees of the state. They work for the government, the New World Order. And so basically, yeah, they RFID all of the military. What do? They got their fingers in the school system, and they pretty much control the school system. So now they're RFIDing all the kids, all the students. You got to have an RFID chip ID card in order to be a student. Then they start with the transportation industry because nobody cares about truck drivers, blah, blah, blah. And it's not just truck drivers, it's other people too. So the Transportation Workers Identification Card, which we call the TWIC card, they started enforcing that. That's how they got a foothold on us. And then when everybody was, allowing this to happen to these different sectors, and I don't even know what all sectors they did it in, probably the medical field too, because the medical field is one of the guinea pigs that the government uses for a lot of things. So first they go after the transportation industry, or they go after a certain ethnicity. They go after their own employees. They go after kids or students, and they go after the hospitals. That's their target groups. I'm sure they got other target groups too, but those are the obvious. Businesses, with OSHA and the EPA and blah blah blah. So they got their different target groups, and so they get it started, and it grows and it grows and it grows, and then eventually everybody's got to do it. But they got so much power now that you can't do anything about it because, oh, well, I'm not a truck driver. I don't care about truck drivers. Who cares what they do to truck drivers? I'm not a truck driver. I don't like truck drivers. They're always in the way, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they bring me my groceries and they bring me my fuel, and they brought this car I drive, and they brought the materials to build my house, but I don't give a crap about them. Let the government regulate them, you know? Military, you may or may not like the military, and you may or may not condone of some of the crap that they do, and even chemical testing that they do on the government, on the military, like Agent Orange, but it's like that story. They came for the hippies. Well, I'm not a hippie, so it wasn't my problem. Then they came for the gypsies. Well, I'm not a gypsy, so it wasn't my problem. Then they came for the skinheads. Well, I'm not a skinhead, so it's not my problem. Then they came for some other people, and, well, I'm not associated with those people either, so it wasn't my problem. But then they came for me, and there was no one else to defend me, so then it was my problem. That's what it boils down to. United we stand, divided we fall. So as long as your rights don't infringe on other people's rights, you're doing basically the right thing. Lawful, basically, as long as someone is not causing harm to someone else, they're not doing anything wrong. Granted, like say your neighbor's grass may be a foot tall and it may bother you, but is it harming you? Is it causing harm? And if you don't like it, maybe go mow your neighbor's yard, But at the same time, you might want to make sure your neighbor's okay with that. Anyhow, yeah, I was just looking at these videos and I saw this and I watched it and I was like, well, that might be a valid argument for MGTOW, but basically MGTOW is a product of feminism. So if you don't like MGTOW, then well, you can thank feminism for that, and you can thank the Rockefellers because they're the ones who destroyed feminism, and they're one of those New World Order elitists that want to control and dominate the world and control and dominate all of us. So if you don't like fake MGTOW and you don't like feminism, blame it on the New World Order. That's my red pill for today. Where's my stop button? Am I even recording? Yes, I am. Here it is.